Let's fucking go. You are listening to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up. I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this, go up. You know it's all net.
Okay. Good morning. Good Wednesday morning. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. And the guy who hit the button too early. That was Leo. Good morning to you, Leo. I can't hear you through you.
Oh, gotcha.
There we go. Now.
I'm good, Troy. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm ready to roll. I got fired up yesterday a little bit watching the Indiana Fever game. And, well, some other things throughout the day, too. I did a little bit of scanning of other podcasts that we're gonna talk about, and the other fucking guy is Mikey G. Mikey, how's it going?
It's going all right. I think I'm having a slightly better morning than most, but yeah, it's going all right. I'm ready to chime in when needed.
All right. Well, I hope so. They have a good discussion about this. So what we're just gonna go and get into it, and I gotta say, Stephanie White was angry or acted angry. I think it was a pretty good performance job, but she acted angry at a little press conference before the game yesterday or before last night, home game against the New York Liberty, who is a team with almost the same record. They were about a half game difference in the standings. That changed, but, you know, New York Liberty, to me, they're better than their record because they, you know, were missing, had Sabrina Ionescu, who was out. I think even Brianna Stewart was out a couple games. So they pretty much got everybody back and healthy now. And they, like, before last night, they won like 7 of their last 8. So they've had a little bit of an up and down season, but doing well. You know, coming into the playoffs, being a tough team
On the way back up.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's that 4 teams. I think it's Vegas, the Fever. And I think the Fever are ranked 4th, but the Fever, I would say, I would rank them number 2 right now. No, 3, because I would have the Lynx as number 1. I would have Vegas as number 2, then the Indiana Fever, and then the New York Liberty. To me, those are your 4 top teams, and that might shake out that way in the end. I mean, because really right now, all they're playing for is seeding and where you want to be and who you're going to play in that regard. The same for the next 4 teams. That's what they're battling for because they're so close together, is really just that. None of the teams after that top 8 that we thought might have a chance to take away that number 8 position, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I was looking at the standings right now. It's Fever and the East. Fever are in the 1 spot. Dream are in 2. Mystics are in the 3. Liberty in the 4. But then the Chicago Sky, it says here at number 5, are 12 and 21. So
there's a whole bunch of 12 and
yeah.
19 and 12 and 20 teams, and some of those 12 and 20 teams are actually pretty solid, and they're young teams and they're growing, but they're 12 and 20. They're not going to have an impact are very much of an impact on how this all plays out. I mean, these other teams are the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
They're balling. They
Right.
are balling.
Even the Portland Fire, is that who they are?
Yeah.
Is that who it is? Okay. They're 13 and 19, the 5 spot in the West. But then you have Lynx at 1, Valkyries at 2, Aces at 3, Wings at 4, and then the Mercury all the way down at 7.
Yeah. The Valkyrie, they're they would probably be my 5th team overall.
Yeah.
They're a solid team as well. But the top 4 are the top 4 for a reason, and loaded with veterans, loaded with super young talent that is fun to watch. Jackie Young with the Aces, Olivia Miles with Minnesota. I mean, I'm a sports fan, and I tend to follow certain players. If Olivia Miles is playing and I have time, I'm gonna watch that game.
For sure.
So that's usually what I do as my wind down at night. And the nice thing is most of the time the game's already been played a little bit earlier, and I can just scan through the commercials, or by the time I start it at the beginning, it'll be halfway done.
Yeah.
Sometimes I catch up to it. I don't always want to catch up to it because of the stupid commercials, but yeah. So this has been, a big event. This has been blowing up, this issue. It's been percolating really for the 3 years that Caitlin Clark has been in the league. I mean, this isn't just a this year thing. And Stephanie White, in the press conference after the Indiana game against Chicago, she held a press conference. She said certain things. I watched that press conference. I watched that game. And I watch a lot of games. There's not a lot of other media, not Dave Portnoy or any of these guys, that are watching more WNBA than I am. They're just not, because I know how much I'm watching. And I'm catching 80% of the games of all the teams, and even teams that are totally out of it now. Yeah. Yes, I am. So think what you want to think of that, but that's the truth. And so I have, I believe, a pretty valued opinion on what's going on. And I tend to believe what I see with my eyes and hear with my ears, with no interference from someone else. Meaning, I'm watching the press conference. I'm watching the game, and when they show you on the bench and they show Caitlin Clark on the bench, many times there might be a facial reaction going on.
Yeah.
Or even in the press conference. Coach is talking, Caitlin is next to her, and then there was somebody else next to her as well. Do you know who that was?
I have no idea.
But both of them, it just looked like, I could be wrong, but it just looked like they're looking like, what? What are
Yeah.
you saying?
She might already have 1 foot out. Well, not 1 foot out the door, but the team already might have plans for her to not be there anymore. I mean, wouldn't they stick up for her if that was the case, if she wasn't already pretty much done?
Well, I brought this up that I figured she would finish the season,
Mm-hmm.
and for her to stay, it's how do you fire a coach that wins a championship?
Yeah.
It's very hard. So I figure she has to win the championship. That was my take on it, with how I feel about it. Other people have other opinions, and these are truly just opinions. They're not facts, but they're opinions. And maybe management is totally okay with all this bullshit. I don't know. Haven't seen somebody from management really say anything. And the only other issue we've had is, if you remember, the Seattle co-owner, that became an issue. Hell, you might get, wasn't a majority owner. She's a minority owner. They can make you sell your shares
Oh yeah.
in a franchise
Yeah.
like this and say, you know what? We can't have that. You're going to get bought out. And she'd probably, make a little bit of money. It's people don't realize that for this league, even still not really being profitable, the franchises are. We went through the numbers, where 5 years ago somebody could buy in and get a franchise for $50 million, and now it's $250 million. And there are franchises that are already valued at between $400 million and $1 billion. I don't know. Sports is weird.
That's for sure.
In how they make their money, but in the increase in the value of the property, which is the franchise, that's where the biggest money is. Now, you'd like to be profitable and get some extra money and stick it in the team and do that kind of thing too. But right now, the biggest thing is just the value of the franchise. But yeah, you had that co-owner who just accosted young girls who just simply had signs promoting positive things, being pro-girls. This whole thing is crazy because it is a pro-movement. It isn't an anti-movement. And you don't see that on the left, really. You always see they're anti-something.
They're fighting evil.
Yeah. They're anti-ICE. They're not pro illegal immigrants coming to the country legally. They're not pro that. They're just pro that, why should we just be because we were born here and we have this great opportunity in this country, and why shouldn't anyone that wants to come here be able to come here and do that? We have all this land, and that is true. We do have a lot of land, but
finite.
Well, we could fit all of the United States. Everybody in the U.S. right now could fit comfortably in the state of Texas. All of us, 330 million. So, yeah, when you travel and drive, you realize, holy shit, just how amazing the spaces are, and just, yeah. So I have a message for Stephanie White, but we're going to, put it in context for you. So we're going to watch the video. We're going to first watch the video of what happened after the game, and they're in the press conference and what Stephanie White had to say about the game against Chicago, where DJ Carrington was ejected. So we're going to watch that and then comment on that.
I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that Dejanay intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did. But it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul. But I also don't think that she intentionally went for the neck.
KK, you were at Sophie right after. What was your view of the play, and of course, why did you choose to do that?
I mean, just to protect her. That's it. I mean, I got my teammate back always, so just to get out the way.
Gotta ask about her response. She went in and she got on social and said white privilege after her getting
Who did this?
Dejanay did. Any response to that?
No, I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about that. Well, they just told you.
Yeah.
It was 2 fucking words.
Yeah.
She went into the locker room and she made it racial, and y'all are telling us you don't want to be involved in the politics of all this. Then you better get your player in line so that they're not posting this kind of shit, which is she should have been suspended. She should have been suspended for a game or 2 games because we just had a coach that you fucking suspended, you fucking morons. You suspended a coach for saying what was the stupid thing?
Protected species.
Protected species. A coach got suspended for saying protected species.
An Australian coach, nonetheless, where allegedly that's where just
It's
a common
just
phrase.
common. But it's not. If you connected that with something else she said, and you tried to connect it to a species like monkeys or apes or something like that, where in the past that's been racial, right? If you'd have named a specific species, but the species she was talking about was star player. And that's in every fucking sport. I mean, most people, if you don't like Steph Curry, you probably think that he gets calls that other people don't get. Right?
Yeah.
That's just normal. That's what she meant by protected species. She had to apologize and she got suspended. And that, you're telling me that's worse than saying white privilege?
Way more on the nose. White privilege.
Is it white privilege to get hit in the motherfucking head? That's a privilege?
It's funny how she said, I don't think that she did it intentionally, but she did. She got
She did do it
You
intentionally.
don't fucking wrap your arms around somebody's neck unintentionally.
Right. Because she look, most of that play, she was out of position. And then she can jump. Tell me which player, if they're standing side by side still, which player is it going to be? Sophie, or is it going to be DJ? Who can just stand there? Who can just raw straight up jump? Who's going to jump higher? DJ is. But she didn't on that play. She jumped as high as she needed to jump to connect with her fucking head, which was on purpose. It was definitely on purpose. We know about, they put their beliefs out there. You put them out there yourself. So if you're putting that stuff out there, we can kind of gather a little bit of information about who you really are and what you think. And you didn't like what Sophie Cunningham had to say about girls and protecting girls, because Sophie Cunningham never said a single negative thing about trans, either kind of trans men or trans women. Didn't say a thing about that other than treating people with love. I treat everybody, how they deserve to be treated. If you're an asshole to me, you're going to get asshole Troy.
That is a thing.
If you're not an asshole, you're not going to get asshole Troy. You're going to, but for the most part, yeah, I'm pretty easygoing in that department. I just don't care about that shit. I respect people out of their just being a human being. I respect people. And I expect respect back. That's, when you grew up or when you experience the world and journey that I have, and being in an outlaw motorcycle club, I mean, it was the number one thing with us was respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect for your brother and being your brother's keeper. That was our motto. I have it tattooed right here. I am my brother's keeper. So I don't see in that clip that we have, and in the fullness of that press conference, I didn't really see her stick up for Sophie Cunningham. and just on plays on the floor and how at least over the last couple of weeks, how White and Cunningham and how White and Clark have interacted during the games a little bit. I just have to say, you just see a certain perspective, and you see that they're not always on the same page. Now the coach is the coach, but you're talking about a once in a generation player that y'all aren't utilizing correctly. I mean, if I'm DJ or anybody else, instead of being mad or upset that white privilege is giving Clark all of these opportunities to do commercials, State Farm and everything, that you don't have, here's the thing. There's eyeballs on you now that have never seen you before. So what I would say, if I was that player, and they asked me a question about Caitlin Clark, I'd be saying, she's a great player. I'm happy that more people are, watching the league, and, those eyeballs that she brings in that want to watch her play. Well, when we're playing that team, they get to see me too. And I can ball. And I'm going to work hard and use that as an opportunity. Now, maybe take you a year or two and to have a really solid season, and then to start getting offers yourself in that way. But that's the way to handle it. Not everybody gets rich or gets commercials or gets fame
Star treatment.
all at the same time or at the same pace. I mean, most actors, unless they had family that had been big time actors, and that happens, and you can call that what you can call that, but, oh, well, this person, this woman never would have been in a movie if it wasn't for her mom. She would have never because of her mom, she got an opportunity. Now, for her to continue and do well, she has to do that. Or you just can't ride that coattail forever. But that will get you that initial opportunity that you don't have to wait for and don't have to wait tables for. And, you don't have to eat ramen noodles, while you're trying to be an actor in LA.
Yeah.
That's just the thing. The starting line can never be evened out. And it has nothing to do about race. It has everything to do about the economic status that we are all born into. Or in some cases, you're not born into it at all, So it just is what it is. Just the timing and the player, just everything hit at the right time for Caitlin Clark. It just really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying if there was no Caitlin, something similar couldn't have happened for somebody else, but it didn't. It was this that came together. And don't be mad about it. Don't be upset about it. And let me tell you, and the problem that they have is they believe Caitlin Clark, because she's white, because she's a heterosexual, that she is the one that has brought Republican MAGA into the WNBA universe. And they are really pissed about that. And I've said that before. I said that last year. They don't really, they don't really want us there. Well, and they'll criticize you online. Well, welcome. Where have you been for 30 years? Look, guess what? For about 27 years, nobody gave a shit about your fucking league. You were almost like bodybuilding, like it was a niche thing,
Mm-hmm.
just a little niche thing. You had your group of people that liked it, and but something happened. You got a superstar into the league, and now it's been able to grow. You get better deals, and you can build on that. That hasn't happened in bodybuilding. It's still a fucking niche sport. In fact, things have probably gotten worse for bodybuilding instead of better, because they don't. There used to be an ESPN show where they would talk about, the bodybuilders and, contests around the country, the Tampa Pro, the Pittsburgh Pro, Chicago, as the pros made their way and were trying to qualify for the Mr. Olympia, but it was out there. It was barely on TV, but it was on TV, yeah, I'm sure there were great players before. Nobody's seen them. Nobody's seen them. You know why you didn't get criticized before? Because nobody was fucking watching you.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. It was a very niche group of people that were watching them.
Yeah. Well, I might be reading too deep into this specific part of that previous video, but as soon as it's like halfway through Stephanie White talking, Caitlin Clark kind of just puts her head in her hands and just like looks down. Like, I don't know if I'm looking too deep into that, but that doesn't seem that body language isn't great.
And it looked like she put her hands over her ears specifically.
Like she went like that.
Yeah. She wasn't like this.
Yeah.
She was like this on the side. So I think that's a good catch by you. I thought the same thing about that she was doing her best not to react.
Yeah, and give him a headline.
Yeah, she was doing her best not to. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But we've seen how she's treated Caitlin Clark, and has she stuck up for her from time to time? Yeah, from time to time. But that should be your first instinct. Your job is your players. Your job is not to stroke DJ Carrington. That's not your job. You're not that coach. And what are you doing that? And the difference, they bring up now that Sophie Cunningham last year got thrown out for a similar type play. And the difference between the two is that Sophie thought she should be thrown out. She accepted the penalty immediately. I think the difference was intent. In this case, there was intent. In Sophie's case, there's a good argument that there wasn't intent to do that. But it did happen, and she took her punishment. And in this league, if there's any kind of privilege, it ain't for white people. It's for black people, black women, and it's for members of the, what do they call them now? The alphabet mafia?
Yeah, definitely.
It's become a common term now. Yeah, for them. That's what dominates. That's where the privilege is. And you can see it in the way that they tell you. They don't hide it. The league tells you. And they're telling you over and over again, Donald Trump doesn't fucking matter. And we're still woke. We're going to stay woke. And we still believe in DEI. We still believe in just everybody being included, except for one group. They're the least included. And that's the straight white girl that doesn't check off any of the other boxes. And it's like, you can't tell me that I'm not hearing what I'm hearing or what I'm seeing. You can't tell me to not believe my eyes and ears when, again, I'm listening to it for myself with nobody narrating it. Nobody trying to push, not listening to anybody else's narrative being pushed onto me. I'm listening to it by myself, and I make, the judgments based on that, and I pass it along to our audience, and I just put it out there that way. It's the best way for me to do that, and that way it's going to be the most authentic way. And if it's similar to other podcasters, maybe it is. And if it's not, it's not. I'm not trying to copy another podcaster. That's not my thing. That's not what I'm trying to do. But in that one in particular, yeah, it just doesn't, it sounds like she's sticking up for Carrington. Carrington's, it's just her playing hard. She's done some other crazy shit that I didn't know about. Like, she may not be gay. People say that she's gay because, I forget, you'd have to look it up for me, she just recently, like, broke up with her girlfriend. It might have been from somebody from the Aces. I don't know the name of
the persons that you're saying.
Oh, DJ Carrington. Yeah, who she was seeing. Because what I saw in the stuff I was reading was that, and this was from her, this isn't from people making quotes, that she said she's not gay, she just likes that particular girl.
Okay. Be as it is, that's gay. There's nothing.
No, but she might be, again, bi or something
whatever.
else.
Still gay.
Or, what's that? Nelissa Smith. That's correct. Exactly. So they've been an item for a little bit, and then they broke up, and I guess, there's DJ Carrington on social media putting out shit in relationship with her relationship with Nelissa. So, like, even she thought, man, that chick is, like, crazy now. But this is the thing with the DJ, that she's done that. I mean, I think that's what most people are upset about right now. You had the penalty. It was a flagrant 2. Nobody's arguing about the flagrant 2 and you getting tossed from that game. Nobody who believes that she should be suspended believes she should be suspended because of the play. Because that's really not normal. What's normal is what happened. It was a flagrant 2. She got taken out of that game. And then you could play in the next. What people are upset about now is the inconsistency in applying the league rules and not applying them to her, and that what she said by saying white privilege and injecting race and inviting all this circus shit in now, that she should be suspended for that. Conduct detrimental to the league is what they call it when they do things like that. And they can do it, and they've done it. It's been done in the NFL. If you do something stupid, posting social media, you can get your hand slapped and fined for shit like that. That's part of the game. So let's go to the second video, which this was last night before the game. And actually, this is more of my favorite than the first one.
For those people that are in this room, this is more for an online community that's trying to create narratives that simply don't exist. Trying to create a fabrication or distortion of who I am, of what I'm about. Our players' success, our players' health and wellness, our players' safety is always a top priority for me. One of the things I pride myself on is my relationships with players. For those who have anything to say about the play in the last game, I didn't see the play in real time. I went straight to a press conference. I thought the play got called right. Thankfully, Sophie's okay. Was it egregious? Absolutely. When you have a chance to watch that over and over and over on replay, you can see that. I didn't have that in real time.
Were there any
I take personally any suggestions that I don't 100% always have my players back. I ride with them 10 toes down all the time. All the time. They know that. It's a shame that we can't have an opportunity to talk about what great basketball they're playing. Because they are f***ing playing. The reality is, with me, I will always lead with love. I will always lead with grace. I will always lead with humility. And I will always lead with integrity. Doesn't mean I'll always get it right. I'm also human. The hate, the fear-mongering, the divisiveness, the stuff that's trying to hijack our league will not win. It won't win. We are united. We are connected. We will not be divided. Every day these women put their on the line. Every day. When they go low, we go high. Love will win. Grace will win. Humility will win. And kindness will win. I stand by them. I will always stand by them. Everybody else can go to hell. You know, this isn't necessarily for...
I mean...
First impression, Mikey G.
Well, she's saying trying to create narratives that don't exist. They're the ones creating the narrative. Like, this is all... You think people are just coming into the WNBA and just, like, trying to inject this in the league? No. They're the ones doing this. You have the players themselves doing it. Co-owners doing it. You have people within the league that are causing all of this. It's not everybody on the outside. If it was everybody on the outside, I think more people wouldn't pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the fact that you have commissioners who won't define what the definition of a woman is. You have co-owners berating young girls.
You know what's so funny about that?
What?
Is when you read that like Enos has done, and you're reading their rules, and say that it's the league is made for women. At that time, we all agreed on what a woman was. There was no need for some expanded definition of what a woman was that, like, Stephen A. was asking for. He's blaming them because they weren't thorough enough in their definition. We didn't have to be. That was thorough. A woman is a woman. And a man pretending to be a woman, thinking they're a woman, wishing they're a woman, feeling like a woman, doesn't make you a real woman. But I'm not objecting and I'm not attacking that person. They can do that. We're not attacking that. But yeah, we knew what a woman was.
Pretty much.
We didn't have to go beyond that definition. We're not the ones that are trying to change the definition. And that's what's happened. You've had people now that say, well, we have trans people and we've got to go extra for them, and because it's really hard for them. So we got to go extra, and in going extra for them, you know, they're allowed to, you know, not just pretend to be a woman. We have to treat them like they are a woman, like they actually have a vagina and ovaries. Yeah, that one crazy one recently that we discussed, where, you know, she had some gooey shit coming out of her ass. and claims that she was, having a period. Oh yeah, her. She's just a total
Nut
nutball.
job.
Yeah, she actually claims she has ovaries.
I'm not
And the
surprised.
person she was talking to was having a hard time being politically correct, but was trying to be politically correct, not to correct the woman. Like, look, you don't have ovaries. It's impossible for you to have ovaries. And they're very rare. The only ones that can claim true confusion are ones that are hermaphrodites. That's it. Other than that, still, and there's usually with them, one part that's more dominant than the other, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, finish more of what you were
I
on the
mean,
line, because I just wanted to back that up solidly.
yeah, I mean, that's just basically all I'm saying is that the narrative is created by them, it's by their actions. Like, no one is coming into the league or into this space and just saying all this shit just to say it. They see what's happening, they hear it with their own, or see it with their own eyes, hear it with their own ears, and then they assess the situation. And that's, I mean, we have seen this coming for a long time because of the fact that they keep kicking the can down the road and won't nip this in the bud. Like they had it, like we said, we had a chance with the Enos Cantor and Royce White shit. They decided not to. They just wanted to fucking try and brush it to the side. And I mean, the more you try to suppress it, the more amplified it's going to become. You have to take this shit head on.
Do you want women's sports or do you not want women's sports? Because if you really think you're equal, we just need it's not the Men's National Basketball Association. It's not. It's just the National Basketball Association. The WNBA is referred to as the W, as in woman. But if you think you can compete with the men, come on over. Put yourself up for the draft. See how many of you get an opportunity and can make a team. I'd be shocked if one could.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's
if that's what you're saying, that everything's the same, and a trans woman is not being kept from being in a sport. Everybody doesn't have the right to play in the WNBA. So, but look, if you want to play sport, you're a trans woman, well, you're still a biological man, and we do this based on biology, so you're going to have to play against men. Now, if you still want to dress as a woman as you play against men, fine. Do that. But you got to play with the men. We don't have an unreasonable line here. The comebacks from the left wing community are, this is such a small number. Why do you even care? Because it has, for sure, taken medals. There's some website that tracks that shit. How many medals have been taken from girls because a boy was in that competition? So we just want the women to get the medals that they earned and they deserve. But when you have I think I had it on my phone. There was some runner, maybe. And this is going back a minute, okay? This has been an issue. This just wasn't the last couple of years. This is going back to around 2018 even. Let me see. I just passed it. I had it. Come on, man. Yeah. Look up this guy. Look up this Craig Telfer, Telfer. He was a runner. I don't know what he was running. Something long distance. He was ranked in 2016 when he was Craig. He was ranked as number 200. In 2017, he was ranked 390th. And then in 18, he transitions to a female. And then in 2019, he was a national champion on the women's side. So 200 to 390 is where he ranked with the men. If he didn't care about winning and using transition as a way to win, if he felt that strongly about transitioning to a woman, he would have just done that and left the other stuff alone. Leave the sport, leave the running alone, because it would have been more important to him.
Seems like he changed his name to Cece.
Yeah, Cece. Cece was his was when he won the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, I do see that as like a common point, bringing up, oh, well, it's not happening, it's this percentage,
Or it's such a small
so why
number.
are you willing to die on that hill then if it's such a small percentage? And it's like, oh, it's equality and this and that. Well, it's a very slippery slope. Like, I'll even give these people the benefit of the doubt saying that, yeah, it is about equality and they just want people to have equal opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But it gets out of hand so quickly. We've seen it happen multiple times.
Mhm.
Like, it starts with equality and then it's a takeover. And then and then it's in every single high school, every college, everything. So,
And it is.
so I mean, it doesn't go away just because you're doing it in the name of X thing. It will get hijacked. It always happens.
There was that high school softball championship, maybe in West Virginia or somewhere, where the man chick was a pitcher, and they just couldn't hit off of him.
Sure. I mean,
And then there was the swimming with Riley Gaines.
yeah, Leah
Yeah,
Thomas.
that Leah Thomas one. There was the one with SD or SD
I'm not.
SU.
I'm not.
The volleyball
Oh,
one.
like the
Big volleyball
oh,
one.
San Diego State or South
Ye-
Dakota State.
I think there was more than one.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised. But the Leah Thomas one was fucking insane because that motherfucker's like 6'4" and just broad shoulders and was just jacked. And they're just
Yeah, but the volleyball one, they brought that dude in, and at first weren't going to tell the girls that he was a dude.
Oh, you mean the San Jose State one?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, and then he was colluding with other teams to injure his own teammates.
Yep,
Yeah.
that
But,
one.
Yeah, I mean, no big deal. I mean, completely take away the fact that they tried to hide that from the girls.
Yeah,
The fact that you're trying to injure your own teammates to help out other teams, which I'm sure you're getting some sort of kickback.
should get you kicked off.
You should be banned. Shouldn't be able to fucking play another organized sport again.
So there are, whether they want to accept it now, there are examples.
And there's more and more,
And more.
as we move along, and there will continue to be more because this is not an
Mhm.
issue that's going to go away.
Unless we make it go away.
Yep.
And that's what Trump has tried to do. That's what White is trying to do, Cantor trying to do. And now I see online on X them saying, oh, well, we want trans in the league. We want a trans woman in the league, a biological male, but not these guys because they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not real. How are you going to know?
What happened to equality?
What about somebody who's similar to them? maybe has similar talent, but just never played in the NBA, and that you don't know. So you know these two guys because they have a little bit of, they were decent players. So they were known in the NBA and drafted well, the whole 9 yards, had good college careers. People knew who they were. So, but if it's somebody else that does it, you're going to say what? Why can't they? And I just don't know how you decide that.
Well, unfortunately,
You're going to make it a requirement that you have to be taking estrogen too?
yeah.
That's what some have suggested.
Yeah, I'm sure they've come up with plenty of suggestions to try and mitigate this problem without putting the fault where it needs to be put. But unfortunately, it's just going to get to a point where people's daughters, sisters, nieces, mothers, they're gonna watch. They're gonna have to compete with men on a daily basis, and they're gonna watch them lose out on accomplishments to biological men, and then that's when it's going to become an issue. That's when they'll decide that, okay, I'm actually not okay with this.
I hope so. Stephen A went off, and he pretty much is the same as I am on the issue, which is I'm not anti-trans. I just have a boundary of the locker room and in protecting girls from men, and not just being in the locker room, but in the sport. I think I saw too, somebody started, I don't know if they were boxing in a barn or something, but they basically started this trans women boxing thing. And so it was trans versus trans.
Sounds like a businessman to me.
But it was like they were in a barn or something. Like it's very low level, but just starting. How else can it start but that?
It's got to start somewhere.
It's got to start somewhere.
I mean, hopefully it gets to a point where they can just start their own leagues.
But if I, as a straight guy, want to be in it, you gonna let me in, or are you gonna not be inclusive?
No, they're not going to let any straight dudes in.
Dude, that's the whole point, man.
Yeah.
This inclusiveness is just total bullshit.
Yeah, but
And people see that. People just want common sense.
it only works one way, unfortunately, and not our way. Which I'm okay. I don't give a shit. You can have your fucking trans boxing federation, whatever the fuck it is.
Well, my message for Stephanie White is we are not the problem. I'm not the problem. First of all, you had people that felt largely the same way. Sports have always been critiqued in written media, in newspapers and such, going back 140 years. So, you can't be mad because there's some people criticizing you. I was one. Stephen A thinks she should be fired now. Dave Portnoy thinks she should be fired now. I didn't say that. I said
No, I don't agree with that.
should happen. Well, the way she's handled this, and I just don't see that connection between her and Caitlin as a coach.
Well,
That's all.
I mean, I don't agree with it, but I'm not the demographic that watches that. I to be honest with you, I keep up with as much as you let me in on when it comes to the WNBA.
Right.
But I don't think she's done anything that's worthy of being fired. And also, to me, that's very left coded. Is to the second somebody says something that you don't like, is to fire them. I don't agree with that ever. So I mean, unless she does something incredibly egregious, I think they should wait until the end of the season if she doesn't win a championship.
Yeah. And I'd be all right with that.
If that's what their plans are. I don't know if they want to actually fire or not, but
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Caitlyn will only put up with it for so long. If we're right, she'll only put up with it for so long,
Yeah.
and then it'll be you get rid of her or you trade me.
Yeah. I mean, usually players win out on that battle.
Yeah,
Coaches are a lot easy. Most coaches are easily replaceable.
yeah. So it's just it's just bullshit because the WNBA wasn't in the limelight for 20, 25 years. It's just it doesn't mean there wasn't any talent or any players there, but nobody was paying attention. Now more people are paying attention, and yes, there's going to be stuff online. Now, people like swearing at people with threats. I hate that. That there should be none of that because then you take away our argument. Then you just make us look bad, And so I don't want people doing that shit.
Yeah.
But you have to take a little bit of heat. It's just the way that the world works.
Yeah.
You got to take a little heat.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Andy Frisella, he talked about it. Jason Whitlock. So any of those, if you guys want to check out, were pretty good. The one, though, was the game last night. Rebecca Lobo, and I forget the dude's name that does the game with her. And doesn't
Ryan Rucco?
It might be.
So he commentates Yankees games, and the clips, some of the clips that we pull for the show, I hear his voice, so I do know that guy's name.
Okay.
He'll fill in for some of the main guys every once in a while.
Okay. Well, but Rebecca Lobo was saying her heart hurts, and she feels bad for the girls and the teams because of social media and online attacks and stuff, and you don't have to listen.
Yeah, you can put the phone down.
You don't have to look.
I'm not saying that stuff's okay. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Like, you shouldn't be attacking people, but I mean, the internet's gonna do what the fucking internet does. That's never gonna go away.
And yeah, threats. If it's a serious threat, it should be handed to the authorities.
100%.
But other than that, heck, you can have an employee, an assistant, look through your social media and see who might be saying something like that would just be discontinued, kind of a thing. So, but other than that, you can't. It's not the media. It's what was created, in that now again. You can't claim that everybody's against you and that we're trying to tear apart the league. It's not true. We came to watch Caitlin Clark, and then some of us stayed. That's it. That's all that happened. If you don't want my $6-7 grand, every year, I'm okay with that. I'll deploy it somewhere else.
Nice vacation. Could be a good Vegas trip.
Maybe. I don't know if it'd be enough.
Well, it would be a good Vegas trip for me.
Yeah. So I just booked Maui.
Really? Nice.
For at the Four Seasons on Maui.
Hell yeah.
7 nights.
Fuck yeah, that would be cool as hell.
11 grand.
God damn. I'm not surprised though.
And then the first class round trip flights together, it was over 5, maybe 5,600.
Jesus.
Well, being on a long flight with that, like I only fly first class now, so like then that's not a flight I want to be uncomfortable on.
Hell no. Is that an overnight flight?
We're actually leaving. We're good. We're leaving early to go to Maui, but when we leave to come back, we had very few choices, and we're gonna get back. It's gonna be like 8:30 in the morning here.
Damn.
Yeah, that sucks.
That is what it is.
Yeah.
You mean like to not have any layovers, right?
Well, you have to.
Oh, you do, there's no
Pretty
connecting?
much.
Oh.
Yeah, like I think on the way there, we stop in LA, I think. And then on the way back, we'll be stopping at Salt Lake City for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. And because, like I said, it's a long flight. So,
Don't they have their own airline? It's like Hawaiian Airlines or something like that?
yeah, I think there's a Hawaii Air.
I
Yeah.
guess I just automatically assumed since they had their own airlines, it would be a straight shot, but I guess not.
It's whatever the plane can do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're flying Delta. So I think Delta's the best one.
Official airline of the New York Yankees.
Is it?
Yeah. I hear it every
That's
fucking
funny.
game. That's all
Maybe
hear.
I should wear my
Yankees hat?
Yankees hat on the way there.
Might get some special treatment. you know?
Yeah.
That logo tends to, you think you're going to be first class if you have that logo on.
First?
Yes, sir.
That's good. So, yeah, but yeah, I could do something else with the tickets. For $7,000, I go to Mexico a couple times.
Fuck yeah. There's a lot of things you could do with $7,000.
Mm-hmm.
100% rather than fucking go into unfortunately a league or a game that just doesn't respect your values. Basically.
Well, they don't. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They don't respect my values. They don't respect what still nobody's talking about. If you take all the controversy that has been out there and you put one thing on top of it, I think that could make a difference too. You need to start telling people, or I do, and I do it already. So we need others to do the same thing. We need to pressure the WNBA to say to move on, and with this inclusiveness shit, that the players should be standing for the national anthem, staying out on the court. You don't have to put your hand over your heart. You can put your hands behind your back and just
Look
down, be mad for 2 minutes, whatever. It's not long. Yeah, I think that would fire people up too, and it has when I've talked about it.
Yeah.
When I've talked about it to people or posted it on my social media.
This is being overshadowed by a lot of other stuff right now.
Yeah, but I think that goes to the whole point of what the problems are there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, them just basically, you can just tell by the way Stephanie White talked, she hates Trump and MAGA. So she hates a good portion of her fans. I mean, it is Indiana, for God's sakes. Trump's first vice president had been the governor of Indiana. Indiana is a very red state. I don't think they're even close to purple. They're a solid red state. So.
Hell, their jerseys are red.
Some of them. But, yeah, the football teams do, right?
Some Hoosiers.
Yeah. So that was just my catch, my view, and why we're still talking about it today. And the game, as far as the game last night, they were on fire. Some of the criticism I've seen of Caitlin is that her recent scoring, she's just been playing teams under 500. Well, if you actually, that just tells me you don't watch the WNBA, because I've seen the bottom team or one of the bottom teams beat one of the top teams on a regular basis. That it does happen.
Well, it's not her fault. They fucking suck. I mean, it's not on her. She just plays the way she plays.
Yeah. But that is and you just got to play who you play. It's what the schedule is. You know, if Messi throws 5 goals on some team, and they report it. Well, he scored 5 goals, but this team is in last place. Okay, well, who else has scored 5 goals against this last place shitty team? Oh, no one. Oh, well, then I guess it still means something,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, great players are going to do what great players do.
And she came out on fire, just rocking the threes right away. Everybody did. You could see if they can keep it. That's when they get off track sometimes. They get a big lead, and then they let the other team back in the game. But moving the ball, getting the ball to someone who has literally as open a three as you can get. Caitlin dumped it down to Boston. There's like 3 players and another one coming to swarm Aaliyah Boston under the net, but she's able to kick it out to the corner. 3. I mean, there wasn't anybody within 15 feet of her. And then to see Caitlin Clark make 2 long threes, against Han, who's like 6'11", and then shortly after that, Brianna Stewart, who's 6'4", and will be in the Hall of Fame. She's one of the best WNBA players ever. Yeah, that's what Caitlin is doing, and Kelsey Mitchell, and they got a deep team. They have a really, really good bench, so it should be exciting as far as the playoffs go. So we'll see what keeps happening with these games, and just
Keep our ears to the ground.
Yeah, because it's pretty cool. It's getting them attention.
Should we move on to
Yes.
killing babies?
Oh, God damn. Yeah.
That is fucking nuts.
I just can't stand this. Do you get that pulled up? Yeah. Democratic Governor Mara Healey signed sweeping Massachusetts bill allowing abortions up to birth. And I guess there's 10 states where that's allowed.
Yeah, I know it wasn't the first one to do it. They were just the most recent, but I mean, it's just absurd. Like I said, abortion isn't something always that I'm like crazy, like passionate about. Like it's really not been a big deal for me, but the fact that you are allowing abortion up to birth, that's basically saying you're allowed to kill babies. I really don't know how else to interpret that.
Well, here's what I understand. I'm not a doctor, but here's what I understand is that if there is something about the baby that is causing stress to the mother in such a way that the mother's life is at risk, that sure, one of the choices could be abortion. But the other choice that could be made every time, so it's the baby that's causing the issue. You're in the last trimester. All you need to do is get rid of the problem, and you don't have to get rid of the problem by killing it. You can just remove it and just have a C-section. And that is usually what many do, except in the cases of irresponsible people that just want to get, away from the baby.
Yeah.
That's just sad, man.
I thought that was.
They don't do that in Europe, man.
No.
They don't. Everybody wants to be like Europe. Europe's about 3 months.
Yeah, I was being facetious in my lead up to this, but if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it's right.
But if I'm not mistaken, that was already an option, right? Like you weren't like if they were in danger of losing both the child and the baby, that they would remove the baby to save the mother, right? Like that was always a thing.
Yes.
So like
very much so.
I really don't understand the point of the bill other than to basically say that you can kill the child and get away with it. I mean, I don't know. Again, abortion's not a big thing for me, but as somebody from the outside looking in, that's just how I view it.
Yeah, I view it very similar in that we should not be doing this. We should not be aborting these babies. There's plenty of people out there that have trouble having a child and that want a child. And adoption, I feel very strongly about that. And I'm very biased about it because I was adopted myself. And I'm grateful that I wasn't killed. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, right?
I mean, yeah, that's valid.
Because that's
sure.
if nobody makes a decision to put a kid up for adoption that isn't also thinking about just having an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they were thinking at some point about having an abortion because what are my options? Well, you're going to list that as one of your options. And I just wish more people would choose the other option. We need more kids, and this is not helping. This is not helping our population and the future of our society. No, we need more kids, not less.
Well, in the case of I think the only time I really waver is in the case of rape or something like that. But even then, it's a fine line that you have to walk because it's not fair to the woman, but it's also not the baby's fault either. So it's you're kind of just stuck in a rock and a hard place. That's the one scenario in which I think either direction is valid. But at the same time, like you said, if you don't want the baby, there's probably plenty of families out there that will take care of that baby and love it and raise it. So again, it sucks.
There will,
but there are options.
Many. Well, one, but just
yeah,
to have the C-section.
Yeah,
have the C-section. You know, if the mother's life is at risk. I mean, I just don't think it's that difficult. But I just pulled this story just because I thought it was sad that these states are going in this direction and proud of it, standing around clapping when she signs the bill.
Yeah,
that's just sickening, man. Yay, we get to kill babies up to 9 months. Yay, and they clap.
Yep.
My God, man.
It's a microcosm of our society right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. What other? Do we have anything else?
I think it was mostly the WNBA stuff that we kind of went over. I'm not really too sure what else, to be honest with you. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that.
I don't know anything about this.
You want to?
Okay.
Abdul El Said, he won the Democrat nomination to run for Senate. And he is radical. He can talk in a way that's not radical, though, and talk very nice in a way that makes you is certainly going to initially attract some people. But he did run for office back in 2020, maybe, or something like that, and lost. But some of the things that he said, like this about football and toxic masculinity. So
it's a fake thing, but
that is so fake, dude. And so really, and at that being at the heart of football, and there's so many that love football, then that means you have a lot of toxic males out there. An incredible number of toxic males, I guess, is what his view is. It's just a crazy view. And he even played football in high school.
Jesus.
Which is nuts. We definitely have to watch out for him, that these people that are coming in and they're way, way to the left. We thought we knew where the left was, like an AOC. These people coming in are even further than that.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
So what? He's just saying that there's just too much toxic masculinity in the heart of football. Therefore, what exactly is going on here.
Do you have the?
What a goof this
There you
guy
go.
is.
I know,
What a
right?
way to start an article. What the fuck?
He also said that racism, homophobia, and misogyny exists in the culture of the sport. And get this, he used to play football in high school. The comments made by El Said in a Substack from 2021 with the left winger responding to then Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden resigning from his position because of his emails that became public. The toxic masculinity at the heart of America's most popular sport and men's sports culture more generally is a deeper than deep is way deeper than a few emails or Jay-Z. There we go. See, I need readers from this far away,
No.
and I don't have. That is something I'm doing in the next week. Get my eyes fixed. But yeah, just the crazy things these liberals have said. You know, they're gonna tear apart ICE. They're gonna defund the police. They're gonna, slowly let out all the prisoners.
Yeah.
Should be a good time.
Yeah. I mean, this is just a fucking stupid ass thing to say. Like, I don't even know how you what exactly is his solution then, if it's really that big of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna bring up a problem, provide a solution. You're just complaining to complain at that point. To say something is racist, misogynistic, this and that,
Mm-hmm.
you're just trying to basically prop yourself up with the left because you're clearly running for office one day.
Well, if you don't vote for the black DEI candidate, Kamala Harris, they believe, without asking you, that they know why you didn't vote for her. You didn't vote for her because you're a misogynist and you don't like women, and you also might be a homophobe or some other type of phobe in that list that they have because of this one person, or a narcissist. Okay, I'm allowed to not. I don't like all men. Okay, I don't like weak, low T men. I don't. They're irritating as fuck. But I don't. That is true. I don't like. There are some men that I don't like. Okay, there are some women that I don't like. That doesn't mean I don't like women. I'm not a misogynist. I'm pretty much the opposite of not liking women in a very strong way.
Yeah.
Now it's just one woman now, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you got a daughter and a granddaughter too, so that
Yeah.
all that plays a role 100%.
100%. So I just don't believe in toxic masculinity. I don't believe in white privilege. These are all just excuses for the government to come in and say, this person is holding you back and we're here to help you because you can't do it on your own, which is what Democrats do. They're the most insulting people on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
91% of all adults over 18 have a driver's license. So you have 9% that we're talking about for voter ID. 9%. And that number probably isn't 9%. It's probably more like 7 or 6, because you're going to have some people out there that have a state ID instead. And besides the state ID, they might have a passport, so that's it. 91% have it, but they're insulting black people and telling them you can't get it because it's a poll tax. You don't know how to get a driver's license. It's the most insulting thing that I can think of. That is racist.
They've always pandered. The left they're the kings and queens of throwing the stone and then hiding their hand. That's just what they do. They throw the stone and then they hide behind other things, whether it's agenda and a person, whatever it may be. Like they just use that as a way to push their agenda forward and just try to act like they care about what you have going on. They don't. They don't care. And they never will, because for them the ends justify the means.
Yep. Right the nail right on the head. What do you got for this weekend? Anything good?
Shoot, I don't even know. Probably just sports. Probably watch baseball or who the hell? I don't know. Actually, I haven't thought that far ahead. How about yourself?
Yeah. Dinner, the usual stuff when we get to the weekend. I mean, it is Wednesday, so we got a couple more days to plan some stuff. Probably the casino at least once.
Gotcha.
So,
sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah, we've actually been having a lot of fun doing it together. And, it's nice her playing the same game now. And
you get along with a woman? What?
Yeah, but if you dislike one,
dislike them all.
You're a misogynist.
Or
for sure.
Don't want to pay for transgender prisoners' surgeries. You're a homophobe, a bigot.
Or if you don't want to pay, which that's a story today too, that the Trump administration is trying to eliminate that for Medicaid. If you're broke and can't pay for that shit yourself, do you want to pay for a 7th grader's transition to being a boy?
No, I do not. I don't want to pay for anybody's shit.
A boy to be a girl?
No.
That's what they're eliminating is Medicaid paying for that.
Well, they should.
Giving them hormones.
If you want to transition, by all means, go ahead. Do it on your own dime.
Yeah, but that's still, we both agree that shouldn't happen until 18.
Hell no.
So just, go to Goodwill, pick up a cheap dress.
Be a tomboy.
Be whatever.
Just wait until you're old enough to fucking understand the consequences, the lifelong consequences of your actions.
Exactly. What about you, Leo? You got anything coming up the end of this week or the weekend?
Just a bunch of business stuff. Got a few meetings with a few people over the weekend. Hopefully get a little more business, but other than that,
good.
Nothing much.
All right, that's all I got for today, guys. I'm good. Hopefully everybody else is good. Spread the show. Do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button for us. And again, especially the shorts and videos, share those, like those. And join us again on Friday morning at 9 Arizona time. Much love, honor, and respect. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You